What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. In this one, I am going to be talking about how I know that church sucks, okay? A lot of you are probably like, oh my gosh, Brandon, why would you ever say that? Especially being a pastor's kid, given that you talk about Christianity so much. The truth is, I grew up in a Christian family. My dad was a pastor, and I have gone to church consistently for about 25 years. So since I was born, I was baptized when I was like 7 days old, okay? I have been going to church since I came out of the womb. And the truth is, church sucks a lot of the time, especially for younger people that have difficulty waking up in the morning on the day when most people just get to go and do whatever they want with their time, but instead you have to go and you have to sit in a chair and you have to listen to a pastor speak. And I don't go to one of those churches where they have fog machines and electric guitars and all that type of stuff. If you go to a church like that, maybe it's a little bit more fun. Maybe you can kind of get yourself to go there a little bit more consistently. But the truth is, I took no breaks for the past 25 years going to church. Even when at one point I thought that I had lost my faith and I was really debating whether or not I thought that God actually existed, I kept up with the habit of attending church simply because I had read studies that showed that even people who didn't believe saw massive impacts in their life, positive impacts from going to church on a regular basis. And for 22 years of going to church, I did not pay attention to a single sermon. Honestly, that's the sad reality of the fact. For 22 years. Now, when the pastor would use a good analogy every once in a while, I would focus up a little bit, when a good story was being told. I'd focus in for like 60 seconds, and then I would fade right back out. And the sermons that I did end up listening to, the information would go in one ear and then just directly out the other ear. No matter how good church was, I wasn't getting much out of it at all. But I continued to show up consistently, time and time and again. Because what I need you to understand is that throughout this entire time that I was going to church, not paying attention, I was consistently praying. Something that I have done ever since I was younger, every single day, praying regularly. And when I would pray, I would ask this. I would say, God, please give me a want to get closer to you and learn more about you. Give me a want. Create that want within me. I would also pray, please give me a craving for your word. All right, I want you guys to think about an extremely powerful urge that you have. Maybe it's to eat a certain food, or maybe it's to watch something that you shouldn't be watching. Think about the most powerful craving that you have. That is the craving that I would ask God for, reading the Bible more, going to church and actually paying attention to what was being said. That's what I want to feel for the gospel. And finally, after 22 years, this prayer was finally answered. I can say today that I feel recharged when I go to church. I feel amazing. I feel like it's life-giving. I can pay attention to the sermons and actually get something from it. Now it feels nourishing, but it took 22 freaking years for that to pay off. How crazy is that? I had to ask for it for 22 years straight before it actually started to feel that way. And so what I want to talk about is what are some of the ways, what are some of the things that actually helped me pay more attention and get more out of church. First of all, I stopped watching short form content because the truth is, short form content is literally giving you temporary onset ADHD. What this means is that it will go away after a couple days or weeks of not consuming short form content consistently. But when you're consuming it consistently throughout the week, maybe you wake up every single morning and you scroll through a couple of TikToks, you scroll through a couple of Reels, you go on YouTube Shorts. When you consume this type of content consistently, it destroys your focus everywhere else. specifically in church as well. I noticed the biggest difference when I started cutting out short form content. I was actually able to get something out of what was being said. I would wake up in the morning, I would go to church, and I'd be like, wow, I actually don't hate this right now. When you watch short form content and you're constantly dopamine farming, the rest of your life, even the things that are supposed to be good and nourishing, they actually feel like they're soul sucking. So understand that. It poisons the rest of your life, all right? The next thing is, I want you to use your focus in church as a telltale sign of how ADHD/dopamine reliant you are, all right? This is the most important time in the week to pay attention. A lot of us can agree on that. A lot of us understand that Sunday church service is probably the most important thing that we are doing all week, because your faith should be at the top of your priority list. If it's not, your loves are out of order, as Augustine would say. All right? With my clients that come to me for fitness coaching, I actually recommend that they go to church on a regular basis, that they find a men's group. And not even just because of the amazing mental benefits that it has, but because of the benefits throughout the rest of your life that it has been proven to have, even if you're not a believer. The consistency of going to church can have incredibly positive impacts. The impacts of praying, even for people that don't necessarily have a part in a specific religion, you can see that the benefits are clear in their lives, all right? So with my clients, I would recommend that they would go to church. I would also tell them that having that sense of community is super, super important. And that's where you get it from, is in church. But it takes work. You have to go in and you actively have to pursue conversations with other people in the community. Now, I know that you probably want to spend your Sundays fucking off, watching football, doing nothing all day long. But the truth is, you have to stick this out. This is something that you have to have implemented no matter what. No matter the turbulent times in your faith, I want you to commit to, hey, I'm going to carve out Sunday mornings to go to church for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life. No matter what happens. Even if I become an atheist, I am still going to carve out this time because I understand the benefits of it. And if you can stay consistent with that, I truly believe that the truth will slowly be shown to you, and that you will actually start to realize the true value of it as time goes on. Pray the prayer that I prayed over and over and over again. Practice for it. Ask for that craving. Ask for that healthy want. And when church does start to feel good, when those hard things that you're doing actually start to feel good, this is a sign that you are becoming a much more productive human being. You're becoming a lot more focused. You're not becoming as dopamine dependent. You are locking in. I really hope that this message is helpful for anyone that is in a very similar situation to the one that I was in. For years thinking, why am I doing this? I'm not getting anything out of it. I'm not even paying attention at all. I want you to keep in mind, going through the rest of your day, that your attention is a currency and you need to start spending it smarter. Use it in ways that are actually going to start paying you back in the long run. Think about it as money. You can either spend that money on things that are depreciating assets, things that are going to feel good for a couple days, a couple weeks, and then they're going to be useless to you. Or you can actually use your money to invest in your future self. You can use your time to invest in your future self and do the things that may not feel good right now, but are going to be incredibly nourishing for you in the future. And use your attention span during these things as a way to modulate how exactly you are doing at monitoring your exposure to dopamine. How well are you able to focus? Because this is going to help you out in every other aspect of life. And what you will notice is that your life will get so much better. Your life will feel like it's more colorful when you start extracting these things that are sucking the joy out of it, giving you that super quick dopamine. So if you need to, delete those platforms off of your phone. Get rid of them. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, whatever it is, I seriously recommend that you start being very, very careful with where you spend your time so that you can actually start to nurture your focus. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to drop a like down below. Drop a single thumbs up in the comment section if you've watched all the way through to the end of this video so that I know that you finished it, and that means you've got an awesome attention span. So well done. Go make it even better. I'll see you in the next one.